continuation of my previous lectures. So this program uses MySQL for my database and Bootstrap for my user interface, of course HTML, and then I use also jQuery and Ajax for more interaction with the front end, and then PHP for my server-side script. So prerequisites, in order for you to understand this fully, you should have watched my previous videos, especially the following. So I have a video on creating database, tables, and retrieve in PHP using cPanel, PHPMyAdmin, and PHP-infinityfree.net. Or I actually saved the table in the infinityfree.net, a free web host. And then I also have a video about PHP, jQuery, Ajax, and MySQL. And then another video, which is actually a continuation of the previous one. Then I have PHP search and retrieve records. And then I have a video for PHP add records, PHP edit records. So these are actually related, or I just update the files and then I arrive at this, especially the last one, edit records. So for the file used, I have the emplist demo3.php, which is my interface or my front end. And of course, that is where we can find our jQuery and Bootstrap and HTML files. And I have emplist.php, which retrieves all rows of the database table and returns or displays the result set in JSON string format. And then I have my saveemp.php, which will do the necessary SQL command to insert, update, or delete records from the table of the database. Okay, so let me demonstrate this one now. Of course, first be sure that your web host or your web server and your database server is running. So for me, it's already running. And let me now open my file. So this is my emplist demo3. So I have here now my program. So let's just have a quick look. So refresh list, this will actually list the tables from my, or the records from my database table. That is the emp table. So here it is. And I place here two buttons for edit and delete. Okay, and then I have here, when I click on add button, it will display blank. But when I click on the edit button, I have this file also, get emp info.php. I think I forgot to place that in my PowerPoint. So this will actually retrieve a single record, just like emplist, but instead of retrieving the whole record set, this will retrieve a single record basing on the employee number that we pass through this file. Okay, so once I retrieve a single record, it displays the record. So again, it's also in JSON format. So then we display the record in the specific inputs or text boxes, HTML text boxes or HTML input. So again, what this will do, if I click on the edit button, it will retrieve the employee number, place on that button, so as an attribute, and then it will open the model form, and then it will use Ajax to retrieve a record. So this will retrieve a single record from my database table. And then after retrieving that record, the record will be parsed into an object or an array object, and then the data will now be displayed on my text boxes. So that is how this button works. Then so once I click on the save or the submit button, this will retrieve whatever is inside my text boxes, and then it will use Ajax to call the save emp PHP, and then using pause form data, and then that's it. That is what will be done if I click on the button submit. and then modal hide. So this will hide the form with this a model form, and then it will again refresh the list. And then here is my HTML file. So this is now my model form from this up to this. So for you to understand that fully, you have to view my previous record, but I have to show you here that this is my form. So I have here my form, and then I have here my input or my text boxes. So I have here a text box with EPNO, ename. Let's look at the ID and name. So I use the same name and ID, and then DEPNO, and then salary and commission. So these are the IDs and names of my text boxes. And then on my footer, modal footer, I have two buttons. I have the submit and the cancel. So but anyway, we'll be concentrating on the submit. So the ID is BTN submit, and that's what is done here. If you click on that, then it saves the changes. So let's take a look at the output first. Here it's the output. So I'll refresh. So I have here list demo 3, so using localhost. So I have here the two buttons, edit and delete. So just to review, let's say for example I would like to edit this record for Victoria with the family name of secret. So if I click on that, this is my get info, get info.php. It retrieves the record and then displays the record on my text boxes, and I can now make some changes. So for example, this becomes 1 2 3 0 0 0 0. So once I submit, it calls save m and do the changes. So again, it is now updated. So let's review my save m. In my save m, what I did here is to connect to the database. So that's the part that connects to the database, and then this part retrieves the data from my form, my input, my HTML input, and then I'm going to test the value mode. If the mode is 1, that means that is adding records. So I'll be using insert. So insert statement. So prepare the statement, bind the parameters, of course using these fields here or variables here, and then execute the statement. If it is 2, then that means I'm using edit. So instead of insert, I'm going to use update, EPNO, etc. And my primary key is EPNO. So I'll change ename, DEPNO, salary and commission. And then again, prepare the statement, bind the parameters, execute. Then that's it. That's how my save m works. So let's now do the delete, because if we're going to look at our program, I don't have the delete facility yet. So if I click on this, it will do nothing. So since we already have the edit, all we have to do is to copy this. So this is my routine for edit. So all I have to do is to select, copy and paste, because it will be quite similar. Okay, so if we delete, we also show the records, so we also use the same thing. But what is the ID for delete? So, or the class, is the class or the ID? So class is edit button, for delete is del btn, and both have this parameter wherein we have the employee number, so similar with edit, but the class is del btn. So here I'm going to select that particular button. Where's my edit? So I have two edits here. This is changed to del button. So the same, I'll be showing the record. But so what will this do again? Get employee number. The employee number is coming from this attribute because we included empno in our button as an attribute. So once we click on that button, we can retrieve the employee number, show the model form, get the necessary record from my table using this primary key, the employee number, and then once we retrieve the record, display the record in text boxes. So I have shown you the output during my edit. But the difference now, since we are using delete, then the fields, the input should be read only because it would be useless for the user to make some changes, but he will just be deleting that record. So let us disable the text boxes. I think no, it's already disabled. It is already read only. So ename that prop disabled true. So that's how we read only, rather. Read only true. So that's how we change a text box to read only. So we do that for the rest of the fields or the inputs. Read only true. True. Okay, so basically this is same with the edit button, but I just added this. So let's save this file. So it's already saved, and refresh this output. Continue. So once I click on delete, let's try to delete there. But you notice that all of my text boxes are read only, so I cannot edit anything. Then if I click on submit, it should be deleting that, but for now it will not delete anything because I have no code for that yet. And by the way, instead of 2, I'm going to replace this one with 3. So 3 is for delete. So 3 is for delete. Okay, so I have this as read only, and just to make sure, I'll copy this and paste that in my submit, maybe somewhere here. So I'll return it back to being not read only. So I'm going to place here false. Okay, so if you click on save, then you should put it back to its original state. Okay, or else if we delete and then we edit on the next, for example, after deleting, then we try to edit, we cannot edit anymore because the text or the input boxes are still has a property of read only. So we remove the read only property. Okay, so now my save emp, I'll just add here. So else if mode is equal to 3. So what will be, so I'll just copy this, but of course we'll not be copying that exactly. So instead of update, we use delete. So it should be delete from emp, and then the condition is where emp no is equal to the employee number. Then we prepare the statement. Then all we have to do is to bind the parameter. So our parameter is only one, the employee number. So we remove this and we just use employee number, and then we execute. That's it. We have now our save emp record. So let's try. I'll refresh. Let's say I want to delete Victoria's Secret. So if I click on this, it will show the records in read only. So once I click submit, oh, what happened? Let's check. Emp no. Delete from emp where emp no equals to bind parameter emp no SQL execute. Oh, sorry. Should be mode equals 3. Sorry about that. So let's try again. Delete, submit, and that's it. The record is now deleted. So that ends my where's my file? Oh, that ends my video lecture for deleting records. So it's quite simple. If as long as you already have the edit, doing the delete will be a lot easier. So thank you very much for watching this video.